I have 9 crypto tips for every crypto holder in the world that I wish I knew when I started my journey. And these are going to be the primary ways you hold onto your funds this bull cycle. And folks, if you think Max Payne is the coin you didn't buy ends up being a moonshot, how about losing 90% of your portfolio? And so this video is key for every single person who does hold crypto. And this is a list from the DeFi Edge. He has over 250,000 followers, and he titled it How to Keep It Simple in Crypto for Busy People. Tip number 1, don't try to get the perfect entry. If you want something, just buy it. This is a bull market. Waiting for a dip means the price can 3x by the time you get your entry. Last cycle, the perfect entry coin was Solana, and a lot of people thought once it hit $20, it's over. I lost my entry because not that much earlier, it was trading under $10. In fact, you get it for $2-3 for a long period. Then after 20, once everybody thought it was done, you can see it kind of dipping, floating around. It shot up to over $40, clipping into the 50s briefly. But guess what, folks? Then it peeled back. You had another good entry. Then it ran back up to $40, and people said, my entry's gone. Guess what? It went up to $80. Then they said, well, that entry is gone. Now I really can't enter. And guess what? It then hit $100. And later on in that cycle, it hit $250. So don't wait for the perfect entry. And for this cycle, that coin very well could be Cardano. You have a lot of people waiting for the perfect entry. Oh, you know what? It shot up to 40 cents. I lost my chance. I'll wait for it to get into the 30s. Never hit the 30s. Oh, it's in the 60s. I'll wait for it to hit the 40s. Never hit the 40s. Now we're in the 80s. We're going to be knocking on the door of $1 soon. So do not wait for that perfect entry if you believe in the coin. Number 2 tip we're looking at here is buy the alpha play. And what this means basically, instead of constantly trying to find the next Solana, it might be more profitable simply to buy Solana. Category leaders dominate mindshare and you're not going to get rugged. I went through this myself with the base ecosystem. I was looking at base meme coins half a year ago, and then I saw a difference between Toshi's market cap, which was around 200 million, and then I saw Brett's market cap around the same period. So I saw Toshi's market cap around April and March. It was sitting around 200 million, but I saw that the most expensive meme coin around April and March was around 600 million. So I bought Toshi instead of Brett. And folks, I should have just stuck with the alpha. That was me trying to chase the beta play. And you know what? I ended up having a beta portfolio. Tip number 3, just focus on 2 or 3 narratives. There are countless narratives out there. Go for what's obvious, such as memes, AI, alt layer 1, Solana ecosystem, ride the trend. So for me, the ecosystems I put the most energy into have been my best gainers. I've been heavy in the ADA ecosystem, heavy into memes, and heavy into L1s. I did great with Sui, I did great with Peanut, and I did great with all my Cardano tokens. But it was the narratives I was more loosely covering, more loosely following, that I ended up missing out on a lot of gains or really not paying attention of when I should have took profits. And I would say that was me with the Solana ecosystem, L2 DeFi, and definitely gaming. You got to really just hone in on 2 or 3 narratives. Do not spread yourself too thin. Tip number 4, don't over optimize. Don't short during a bull market and be careful with leverage. He's saying don't use leverage. My main issue is just use safe leverage if you are. Nothing wrong with 2x, 3x if you're getting a good entry point, but people just want to do that 40x, 50x FOMO and just stay away from that, folks. You can get wrecked with leverage. Tip number 5, use simple formulas. Here's some examples. Take half when it doubles, cut if it dips 20%, stick with simple formulas till you have enough experience. You don't want to rely on your emotions when you haven't built up enough reference experience. For me, that was Peanut. I took aggressive profit taking during some of these first levels, but guess what? I also took aggressive profit taking near the top. And you know what? I'm sitting on a lot more Solana than I started out with, so I'm glad I stuck to my guns. Tip number 6 is portfolio rules. Do not over allocate to any one horse. Unless, of course, it's Bitcoin, everybody. You can apply formulas to your portfolio. No coin is greater than 15% unless it's a major, for example, or no more than 30% is in high-risk tokens. And folks, there's a lot of categories in crypto right now, and so if you're too heavily allocated to one, for instance, you might miss out on the next booming narrative. Number 7, stack the majors. That's kind of self-explanatory. When should you cash out into fiat? USD is going to be inflated away. It's simpler to just focus on stacking the big 3 and holding for a long time. Only cash out if you absolutely have to. I would disagree with that slightly. When we're in that froth period, it's okay to take profits, folks, but you do not want to be too heavily allocated to very small microcap tokens because they will fall 95% and maybe even 99.9%. So be careful. And then the ninth and final tip, take profits by DCAing out, dollar cost averaging out. No one can time the exact top. Instead, once you feel we're near the top, you can start DCAing out month by month. And folks, this strategy has changed my life. I used this strategy in 2021 and I was able to walk out. Basically, most aggressive selling happened in November and December of 2021. And folks, I just used the 4-year cycle for my DCA strategy. And don't worry, when we're near these areas, this cycle, I will explain why I'm going to be selling and when I'm going to be selling. So folks, these are 9 tips that I wish I knew when I started my crypto journey. I would have a lot more crypto today than I would if I would have known these tips when I first started. In fact, I'd have probably a couple more zeros in my bank account, folks. So that's all I got. I'm DZ, and I'll see you and all your profits because you're listening to the tips at the top.